Go on, Mark. Sure.
You've got two books. If you start on page 1, you see the conversation I had with Patrick, which is in blue. We talked about various ways of doing interesting things at the end of a stadium. One idea, which is illustrated in the first few pages, is of having a lot of towers which can have lights that climb up and down them. And then I finally got to page 5, where I firmed this up into a sort of number 1 possible firm idea. The fact that as a band you take up very little space. One thing which would be very interesting to do would be to put you in a capsule and change the position of that capsule relative to the backdrop, almost as a caravan, as a vehicle, as a pod. And it's basically on a giant forklift truck that we build as part of the backdrop, which started off at the front of the stage like this, got picked up and did this and flew back, and it's shown here up in the air in this sketch. This is this thing that could go up and down. So you could have it down low, and then slowly the whole band goes up, and you fill the space underneath with video picture.
I do suffer quite badly from vertigo.
Yeah.
Well, I just thought I'd mention that before.
Or you could get off. Just before the red light. We'll give you a green light.
I don't mind sending the cigarette, you know. But, I don't, you know, honestly, I just have to say that, I mean, certainly the height that is there, which is obviously the sort of height of the PA towers and stuff, you know.
I don't know. We could. Well, we need to come back to that one.
Genesis are at their best in concert. Nearly everywhere they play, they take the audience by storm. And last year, they were voted #1 live band in the world.
You know, if you go back to the early days of Genesis, they were always theatrical. They always had, you know, even the stage presentations before we had before we had film and video, they were always three-dimensional. You know, if you go back to when Peter was there with Watcher of the Sky with the makeup and the bat wings, it was a very three-dimensional look. You know, you'd get this depth in the stage.
We've always, you know, had a big visual show. In the early days, obviously, we didn't really have any helpers. We just did it ourselves. Back in the days of, you know, Lambeth on Broadway, and the idea sort of came from within the group, and we expanded on, and we used to get people to help us, you know, but it very much started with us. And over the years, you know, you start to sort of find people who you can get your ideas through, and who've got practically minded people who can perhaps get it to the next stage.
But I think generally all of us have had a theatrical kind of taste.